That's true. We are waiting for the vice president. Is it? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Our apologies for the late start. We were just concluding our National Standing Committee meeting, and this press conference is going to be addressed by Vice President David. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Secretary General Wende. Okay, thank you. And the what? The what? Beautiful face. There are two things you can't use in the same line with my name. Beautiful and Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are very honored that at short notice you have once again respected and honored us with your presence here for our press conference. As all of you are aware of, on the 11th of October 2021, last week on Monday, vehicles belonging to our party president, Advocate Nelson Chamisa, were attacked in Mashingo. One of his vehicles, Toyota Fortuner, was damaged very badly in the Charumbira area of Mashingo. The onslaught on our party leader and his convoy as he conducts these Meet the People tours that started in Mashingo is unprecedented. Only yesterday, the 19th of October 2021, his convoy was again attacked just outside Motare, around the Zimunya area, as he drove from Chipinge. An unlawful ambush was mounted. Gunshots were fired, and one of the bullets actually in the left seat with the VIP. Throughout the day yesterday, he had about 12 vehicles and pursuing him. So it is quite clear, ladies and gentlemen, that there is a desperate attempt, a clear attempt to ensure that our party president does not meet Zimbabweans, does not Zimbabweans. We condemn in the strongest terms the actions by ZANU-PF that are behind these unlawful attacks on our president, both in Mashingo and in Manicaland. In Mashingo, we are aware that some members of parliament of ZANU-PF actually organized rogue elements within the villages, waving some ill-written placards to prevent our president from talking to people, from meeting the people. But of course, the people know what they want. We saw massive crowds rushing to him, rushing to his convoy in Mashingo last week at places like Bikita, places like Nika, places like Jerera, places like Kwaroi. Yesterday as well, there were the massive crowds who greeted him at Bechnaf. Massive crowds were at Guune, massive crowds were at Ngangu, massive crowds were at Chipinge at town center. The fact is, you can't stop change, you can't stop a revolution, you can't stop transformation when it is the hour of transformation. We are seriously concerned that the attacks on our president are consistent with the attacks that we have seen on our party. Since the 30th of March 2020, when that Supreme Court judgment was handed down, we have seen vicious attack on our party. The withdrawal of members of parliament, the withdrawal of councillors, the takeover of our party head office, the multiple charges brought against literally everyone of our top leadership, the vice presidents, the secretary general, the organizing secretary, virtually everyone who is here, our secretary for international relations, our esteemed mayor for Harare, Comrade Mainga Hama has just come out of prison. So we've seen the de facto banning of the MDC. Under the guise of COVID regulations, we are not allowed to have meetings. Under the guise of COVID regulations, we are not allowed to move across the length and breadth of Zimbabwe. Yet ZANU is moving. ZANU is organizing its own internal activities. Mr. Mnangagwa is opening tuck shops literally every day, and the crowds are attending those meetings. So it's a de facto ban of our movement, and the reason is very simple. Mr. Mnangagwa did not win the 2018 election. He elects legitimacy, so he's punishing us for winning and beating him in the 2018 election. But the bans have not succeeded. The takeover of Harvest House has not prevented us from breathing. The party is alive, the party is kicking, and should President Chamisa be allowed to have a rally anywhere in the country, there will be 200,000 people. Even goats and snakes will attend that rally. That is fact. This party is alive. This party is breathing. What concerns us is that ZANU appear to be graduating from a de facto physical ban to elimination, to assassination, attempts. So they are upping the gear, they are upping the ante, because they are more afraid of 2023 than they are of 2018. So we urge on state security agents to do the job that they are asked to do in terms of Section 205 and 206 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, which is to protect citizens, which is to protect lives, which is to protect ordinary men and women, not the interests of a narrow elite located in a political party. We are also aware that the attacks on our leader, the attacks on our political party are not unique to us. They are massive attacks on the people of Zimbabwe. The arrests that I've spoken of are also arrests that are taking place in amongst ordinary citizens. As I'm talking to you right now, Makomborero Haruzivishe has been languishing at Chikurubi prison for months. Journalists are under attack. People like Hopo Chimono and others have spent months inside Chikurubi prison. Vendors, activists, no one is safe. But it's not just physical, violent attacks. It's also economic attacks. As I'm talking to you right now, the parallel exchange rate is almost 200. And there's no question that before the end of November 2021, it would have reached 400. The price of goods, have shot up. Inflation is back to literally 80% per month, which is the definition of hyperinflation. Civil servants are being paid in RTGS dollars when the price of goods is in US dollars or indexed in the paro market exchange rate at supermarkets like Bon Marché or OK Bazaars. 50% of our people are living in extreme poverty, according to the World Bank. Our own economics department puts that figure at 79%. You know this because these people are our parents, these people are our brothers, these people are our sisters. 79% of our people are living in extreme poverty, surviving on less than US $1.25 a day. We know what is happening in the townships. People are surviving on taona, 4 leaves of vegetable, a little coke of cooking fat. Life is bad. Teachers have literally not gone to work for the past 2 years because they can't withstand the onslaught by this regime. So citizens are suffering the physical brute violence of ZANU-PF and the physical brute violence of ZANU-PF's economic mismanagement, as well as the scourge of corruption. These people are stealing left, right, and center. Contracts are being awarded that runs into millions and millions of dollars without going to tender. Those contracts are being inflated. Zimbabwe now belongs to a few individuals, a few cartels that are owning Zimbabwe. But the citizens have a solution. The citizens have converged for change. And our message for citizen convergence on change has been accepted. And we want to take this opportunity to thank the people of Zimbabwe for accepting our message of change. We want to thank the thousands and thousands of Zimbabweans that are flocking to meet our president in every district, in every village that he is traveling to. The slogan and hashtag Ngapinde Mkomana is burning in the country. People want change. People want transformation. Yet ZANU-PF have a different narrative where the citizen in the Wananji is saying Ngapinde Mkomana, ZANU is saying Ngauraiwe. We say to the authorities, please stop this madness. Please stop this insanity, uphold the decency of life, uphold the dignity of being Zimbabwean. That is codified in the constitution of Zimbabwe. On our part, as MDC Alliance, led by Advocate Nelson Chamisa, with his leadership, those that are present, others that are not here, in particular, our Vice President Lynette Karenkore, Vice President Welshman Ncube, our organizer Amos Chibaya, who is not here, our Secretary for Rural Mobilization, Comrade Hebmo Chidziva. Our message is very clear. We will remain defiant within the confines allowed by the Constitution, Section 59 of our Constitution. So our President will continue with his meetings across the length and breadth of the country. We've also deployed other leaders, senior leaders of our party to the provinces as well. So you will see massive activity of our party in the rural areas because we cannot sit and fold our hands as the crisis bends, and we can't give ZANU-PF a blank check to insult and assault the people of Zimbabwe. We have a message to the international community, and our message is very simple. The regime of impunity and unaccountability continues in Zimbabwe. The people that destroyed our president's car last week, no one has been arrested. Yet there are videos that show the people committing the vandalism. There are videos of members of parliament of ZANU-PF doing what they are doing. So the culture of impunity, the culture of indifference continues. We call for the respect to the rule of law. We call for respect to constitutionalism. We call for the respect of human rights and human dignity. Our communities are under attack, and they too need to be defended. As I'm talking to you right now, citizens in Mutoko are under assault by alleged Chinese investors who are busy molesting their traditional lands, their heritage, their history. Citizens, the Hlengwe community in Chilonga, are facing the same fate. The people of Chinamora, Domboshawa, are facing the same fate from gold dealers. The people in Inde, Wange, Matebeleland are facing the same fate. The people in Checheche and other parts of Manicaland are also facing the same fate from Billy Rottenberg and his Green Fuels company. So communities must defend themselves, their legal remedies. Communities are entitled to say no. So in conclusion, I want to call upon the international community, in particular SADC, that the situation in Zimbabwe is burning, that a soft landing needs to be created, and the only thing that will create a soft landing is genuine dialogue by the two principal organizations in this country, the MDC Alliance and ZANU-PF, and by the two principal actors in this country, Mr. Mnangagwa and Advocate Nelson Chamisa. Anything else is just a sideshow, and you know that I'm referring to Poland. It's an important sideshow. That dialogue must focus on reforms. We need reforms to the Electoral Act, the restoration of the integrity of the Constitution. We need to go back to the Constitution as it was in 2013. Media reforms, it is a crime, ladies and gentlemen, that 40 years after independence, Zimbabwe still has one broadcasting house, Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation, ZBC, which annually wins awards for best broadcasting house. It competes with itself. We need community radio stations. Put simply, we need reform that goes to the country's constitution. It is important, ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, that we citizens play a part, that we have our own agency. As Bob Marley once sang, none but ourselves are our own liberators. So we say once more, thank you to Zimbabweans for standing with our president and for standing with our party, the Movement for Democratic Change Alliance. I thank you very much.
Thank you, VP. I think for the statement, we can go to the question and answer segment if there are questions on this issue, and then we can call it a day. It's blessed. And bye. Yes.
Yes, my name is Blessed Nkana from Assassination in radio. We have noticed on social media there's been a comparison of bullet holes in the picture that appears on the car that alleged was shot by a car. Can you explain the questions that are coming around where people are saying this is not what a bullet hole looks like? They allege that it was not a bullet hole and it was not state, which is actually state money. Can you explain that concept?
Let's have. Yes.
My name is Kadej from PNC. Last time, the question was last week, also been so what action is the party going to take over the continuous attack on the state?
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm Leopold from the police. We have talked to the police, asked questions on what to do, on what action will be taken on those to use the record of the MDC Alliance. My question is, has the MDC Alliance reported the matter at our police station? Because the police station says we have no such report.
Okay, thank you. Yes, the last question. Oh, it was the same question. Okay.
Yeah, well, reports have been made to the Zimbabwe Republic Police in Manicaland. And in any event, the clear, assault has happened in Manicaland. The police can't wait for a report. They have to be proactive and they have to do their job. Their primary duty is to protect citizens. Their primary duty is to protect property. That is enshrined in the constitution. So we have done that. The question you asked, Pindai, look, it's a question we are constantly answering. The party will protect itself within its capabilities, but we are ordinary citizens, unarmed citizens. There's a limit to which we can defend ourselves. So we can't defend ourselves against bullets, against lawlessness. Otherwise, we would have to change our name from the MDC Alliance to Zimbabwe's Liberation Movement and change our head office from 44 Nelson Mandela to somewhere in the bush, and we have no intention of doing that. Which is why I've called for external refereeing in the form of SADC. We have a duty to protect life. We have a duty to preserve life. We have a duty to make sure that our differences are managed, and they are managed through dialogue. Zimbabwe is not the only country that has elections. Only a few months ago, Mr. Mnangagwa was in Zambia celebrating the victory of democracy. Yet he doesn't see the irony that here back at home he is stifling that. There's violence, by-elections can be held. The irony escapes him when he goes to places like Zambia or Malawi, where democracy is flourishing. Dara's question, ZANU has always blamed the victims. It didn't start with us. If you have studied the history of Gugura Hundi, constantly Joshua Ngomo and Zapu were blamed. As I'm talking to you right now, Joanna Mamombe, Cecilia Chimbiri, and Nitsai Marowa are facing a crime of having abducted themselves. So we are not going to entertain and go into false narratives. The president was attacked not just yesterday, but also in Mashingo. But that's not the first time. We've been assaulted over and over again. The same man was assaulted and brutalized at the Harare International Airport on the 18th of March 2007. On the 11th of March 2007, Morgan Tsvangirai and others were butchered at a police station. We were blamed. So the blame game is the language of fascists, the language of dictators. There's nothing new It will not. It didn't start with Emerson, and it won't end with Emerson.
Okay, you can have the last round if there's any. Yes. And then you want a second bite of the shade. Okay.
My name is Lucy. I'm a freelance journalist. I just wanted to know if there's going to be any legal process that the party is going to take against this attack.
Okay. Thank you. There was a question there.
We had an here. They said that in this chapter, and I don't use everything that is doing every person of evidence of grievance against the regime.
Okay. The last
I think
question.
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
The last question.
Blessed be time again. I just want to
Why do you miss the term Dara?
Dara here again. Can you just explain to us, because we saw a video of where this shooting allegedly happened. Now, we wanted to know why at that particular time people were taking a video. Were they expecting the gunshot to happen at that particular time? What exactly was happening?
Yeah, but that's easy. I mean, people always take videos when our president is around. His status is bigger than that of a pop star, you know. So people always take videos. You know that, and you know these days everyone is a journalist. I mean, look at all of you. You all have smartphones, so everyone has just become a a journalist. Our president is loved by the people. Everyone wants a selfie with him. Each time I move with him, you have to run away because everyone wants a selfie. You know, so it's natural. You know, he is loved by the people. He's in people's hearts. Unlike the other men, even children who run away from him. I saw a little child with his hands in his pocket. You know. So if you are loved by the people, you are loved by the people. You know, our message to the rapporteur: the facts of Zimbabwe speak for themselves. The facts of Zimbabwe speak for themselves. There is violence, which didn't start on the 11th of October, which didn't start yesterday, the 21st of October. There is impunity and abuse of the rule of law. I've referred to Mako Komborero Arzuvishe. What has he done? I've referred to the vicious persecution of Joanna Mamombe, Netsai Maroa, and Cecilia Chimbiri. I've referred to previous cases of abductions. Where is Itai Zamara right now? Where is Patrick Namabani? And I'll refer to many reports, independent reports, prepared, including by the UN itself, on violence in Zimbabwe. Starting from way back, Gukura Hundi, Operation Murambachina, Operation Murambachina, and the brilliant report prepared by Mrs. Tabaijuka, a UN report. A report around the 2008 violence, a report around the violence connected with the land reform, program, the report of the Mohlande Commission on violence that happened on the 1st of August 2018, reports on violence and murders that happened in January of 2019. So, if so this rapporteur, I'm sure, would have read, your literature. There is violence in Zimbabwe. There is impunity in Zimbabwe. There is lawlessness in Zimbabwe. We take exception to the suggestion that we are creating drama. Suppose President Chamisa had gone to Mashingo and ZANU had done nothing. It wouldn't have been in the news. Just like it's not in the news that Mr. Timber drove from his beautiful house in Mount Pleasant and got here. So they are putting people, they are assaulting us. And when they assault us, they can't accuse us of drama. If you plant a storm, you reap the whirlwind. And they are just reaping the whirlwind. Lucy, your question. You know, we are tired of the courts. We are tired of the courts. The courts have been weaponized. The courts have been emasculated. So we are not saying we are abandoning the courts completely, but we are tired of the courts. That's why we've called for citizen agency. The constitution allows that citizen agency peacefully and constitutionally. And the communities will come out. As I have said, they've converged. Citizens have converged for change. Citizens have converged around President Chamisa. And the regime knows it. That's why it can't call for elections. Because when you call for elections, you will see the result. It will be a disaster for Mr. Mnangagwa and his friends that we used to work with. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming. And I think that brings a close to our conference.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.